welcoming you for this seminar. This is a seminar organized by HDFC Credila. They are the largest player in the country who facilitate students wanting to go abroad in terms of the financial help they are able to render to people. So my name is Alok Bansal. I'm your friend and a career counselor. I am a study abroad expert. I guide students like you for all their aspirations, for meeting all their aspirations, their requirements. I handhold them, I mentor them, I guide them to achieve their goals. That's my objective. And I've got 100% success. Each year, my students make it to Harvard, Yale, Cornell, Princeton, Oxford, Inseed, uh, all these colleges, they are able to make it because we plan like that. So we are talking about demystifying study abroad. Your questions are most welcome. The important point here is that when you are a small cohort, you can actually address queries very carefully. I take seminars which are 3,000 people, there are 6,000 people. I mean, sometimes you're not able to answer all those queries and you talk generally, but here, I think with a small cohort, we can talk about individual perceptions, individual questions, I would be able to answer. So I am first of all talking about demystifying study abroad. So my name is Alok Bansal. I run a company called alokbansal.com. So why are we talking about study abroad? And I'm sure we are very clear about that. When we go and study abroad, the flexibility which is available to you to complete your courses is amazing. I'm going for masters and I'm going for a MS in computer science. Can I complete my course in 1 year? Absolutely. Can I take up a minor which is psychology? Yes, I can do that. If I have gone for an undergraduate course and I am looking at a 4 year graduation or undergraduation there, can I complete my course in 3 years? Yes. Can I change my minor? Yes. Can I change my majors? Yes. Can I do multiple minors and multiple majors? Absolutely. In fact, my students keep on calling me in the second year or third year saying, sir, which minor should we choose? Which internship should we do? So absolute flexibility which is available there. Unlike here where there is a set course and you'll have to follow that. This is research opportunities, amazing amount of research opportunities. And I'm not talking about hardcore academic kind of work. I'm talking about research and technology, research on doing publishing a paper. The course, the ecosystem there provides you that opportunity of being mentored by specialists in those areas, as well as they fund you, they give you those opportunities of doing research. So if I'm wanting to do something in uh, uh, vision, okay, a computer vision, okay, which is part of AI ML, can I do that there? Absolutely. In India, you can find with very few places like Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, where you can do that. Other places that's not possible. Exposure, amazing. You meet a very diverse group of students there. So that enables you to learn. In fact, my student last year went for a summer school to Imperial College London. She came back and she said that, okay, I thought I am the topper of my class, but when I went there, I was shocked to see people giving you different perspectives. So that's how it is. So that's how it is, which is very important. Cutting edge technology. I mean, yes, technology wise, they're far ahead, and I'm talking about countries like US. I'm talking about any of these countries. They're far ahead of us, and we copy them, we follow them. That's what we do. Wide range of courses. You can do multiple courses, international network, diverse group of people. PG abroad becomes more accessible if you do undergraduate there. Support services. So there are a lot of options there. Where should you go? I mean, if you ask me, US tops the chart. I mean, I personally, because technologically, education-wise, it is quite advanced. Their universities are quite, I mean, forthright in deciding what they want to do, they don't want to do. In terms of the ranking, if you look at Financial Times ranking, if you look at Times ranking, or if you look at any other QS ranking or stuff like that, you would find the US universities topping the chart there. But there are issues about visa, but then that's largely taken care of. So people wanting to do MBA, please be clear that Stanford, Wharton, Harvard today are STEM programs. Even MBA programs are now STEM programs, and they enable you to get an OPT for 3 years. So that's absolutely available. Europe, amazing options. I mean, you go to Netherlands, you go to London, you go to Trinity, maybe kind of Ireland, you go to France. There are very good colleges, and if you are a recent graduate wanting to make your career there, These are good places to be. Canada, if you really want to look at settlement, if you're looking at immigration options, I mean, that's a place to go. Hong Kong, today people are finding it slightly to be dicey, but if you look at some universities like HKUST, HKU, they are amongst the top 20, 30. Singapore, the safest destination, definitely. Now, how can I go there? There is a gentleman here who was talking about, I think Raghav or somebody, who was talking about, yes, how to do undergraduate studies abroad, right, Raghav? So, very clearly, there are quite a few things you'll have to do. First of all, you have to appear for a standardized test, whether it is for PG or UG. You'll have to appear for a standardized test. Standardized test for UG is SAT or ACT plus TOEFL and IELTS. For PG, it is going to be either GRE or GMAT plus TOEFL or IELTS, one of them. So that these standardized tests are important because they want to judge you. They want to do a relative comparison of you versus your competition in terms of in your aptitude level, where do you stand, where do you come in. Okay, you are a 99 percentile, you are a 90 percentile. I mean, that's what they want to judge you. So it is very critical that they'll have to appear for standardized test. Now the problem here is most of the people delay. If I am wanting to do my undergrad, 12th ke baad jana hai, what I need to do is if I am appearing in 12th in 2021, which means I'll have to appear and submit my scores by October through December of 2020, which means by this time I should have done away with my SAT or SCT. I should have got that score. In case I have not done that, I am running late. I need to immediately appear for ACT, which is SAT, which is going to happen, I think, on 27th August, in September and October also. I need to do that. Okay. Similarly, if I'm looking at post-graduation abroad, please note that 2nd October, 1st September are the first deadlines for a lot of colleges. So if I not appear for GRE or GMAT, I need to do it right now. You have questions about where should I prepare, how can I help you? I can definitely guide you on what is the best source for preparing for GRE, GMAT. You can write to me. I'll be happy to answer that. But that's very critical. Secondly, so that's one filter, which is the standardized test in UG, PG both. Second is your school grade. So past academics. I'll give you examples. I'm a student this year, Delhi University topper for economics from Jesus and Mary College. She did not appear for GMAT, right? She was very scared of appearing for GMAT. For academics, she topped the chart. She was a topper, gold medalist here. She has been able to get admission into National University of Singapore without GMAT. That's rare, right? But obviously the application was very strong, so we worked on the profile very carefully. Okay, and now she's approaching HDFC Credila for taking a loan to go abroad. Similarly, your profile, your extracurricular activities, your community, your work experience, everything becomes very critical. People ignore this. People ignore this big time, and they say, I don't think it is required. I'll be able to work on that very carefully. So that's how it is. Recommendations, critical. Who recommends you? Is that person okay? So if I'm going for masters, say MS, is the guy who's writing my recommendation an H-index person? Technically qualified hai ki nahi hai? Similarly for UG, who's writing? Is the principal writing or vice principal writing? That makes a difference. Supplemental material also makes a difference. I would keep on coming back to your questions, guys. Please feel free to ask me questions. Okay, so no more questions here. I'll answer those questions. So this is what it is. Now there are some myths, and I'm going to run fast because I would like to address your questions. That is what it is. People say SAT or ACT score and similarly GRE, GMAT scores are the most important. They are a critical factor, right? They are a filter. But does that only determine that? I would show you cases of not my students, people with 15, 80 in SAT not making it to any of the good colleges. Similarly, people with 740, 760 GMAT not able to make it, or 700 GMAT not able to make it, or GRE 333 not able to make it into top colleges. Because this is a filter. This does not mean that if you got a high score, you would necessarily get in. The entire application package is important. The way you write your essay, the way you present your resume, the way you talk about your extracurricular activities, the way you talk about your events or strengths and weaknesses, everything as a package becomes very important, right? Some people come back and say US education is extremely expensive. Not at all. I mean, you go to HDFC Credila probably, and I'm using this opportunity to talk about them, would give you loans which are without any collateral for post graduation, I think 40-45 lakhs, which is good enough to sustain there, right? I mean, that's the amount of money you would require. So would that sustain you there? Absolutely sustain you there. Is it very expensive? It depends, actually. It depends. What is your perspective? When you look at the return on investment, it is not expensive at all. It is not expensive. Okay, if I am wanting to, if I am going for my MBA and I earn 2.5 lakh dollars, I am basically recovering the entire amount probably in a year. So expensive is, I mean, if you go to some colleges in India, are they not expensive? Are the private universities not expensive? So that's not the case. Foreign education is worth only for STEM students, not at all. The kind of qualifications. Okay, so Geeta Gopinath, we know, IMF present chairperson or the senior person or head of IMF, she's an Indian. She had to do her master's abroad again. She had to repeat that. LSR pade, then she, which is Delhi University Economics, then she did a post graduation. She had to repeat her post graduation there because people did not give value to her degree. What I'm trying to hereby say is that only STEM students should not go there. Anybody can go there. The quality of education is very important. So if you're looking at well-grounded uh, personality, this is the place for you to go. Okay, only Ivy League universities in India, IIT, okay, which is the top ranked institution in the country, is ranked 173rd in the world. I'm talking about going to top 100 universities. They are far superior. Look at their campuses, 4,000 acres, 2,000 acres. And what are we talking about here? 10 acres, 5 acres, half acres. So that's it. Let me give you some examples. And I'm very happy to answer any questions you might have. Somebody asked me, I think very clearly, a gentleman asked me, saying that with COVID-19, should we really look at going abroad? My sincere suggestion or humble presentation here is, whenever there are crises, there is a crisis in the world, whenever there is a recessionary trend or a situation which is there, people get down and start studying, right? That's a trend because they know that it's a V curve, right? We are going downhill very fast, but when we come back, it will be very fast. When we are coming back, the new age companies, the newer framework of companies which are going to survive would come back very fast and they would require upskilled manpower. So if you get into a course right now, this year and next year, by the time you come back, the economy would have come back full circle. And that is the time you would make maximum money. You know, people go with the curve. So when the curve is going up, economic curve is going up. If you go up the curve, you will make a large amount of money. The return on investment will be amazing. And this is a good opportunity to get into business school. Now, you want to take loans, please go ahead and take loans. This is the time. You would be surprised that when you would look at this year's data, you would find maximum amount of loan disbursement would have taken place. I'm talking about education loans. Let me give you some examples of people who make it. This girl is a doctor, okay? And I'm talking about profiles, I'm talking about how do you make it, okay? She got a low GRE score, okay? If I share it with you, 295, which is a very low GRE score. Even then, she has got into Harvard with 25% scholarship. Mind you, Harvard with 25% scholarship. Some universities in UK rejected her application saying GRE score is pretty low. But her profile, if you look at her profile, and I've been working with her for past 2 years, amazing. We did work on research papers. She's a doctor who's wanting to become an epidemiologist. She's going for masters in public health to Harvard University this year. Amazing. So we worked on the profile. So we said, okay, she has a problem in aptitude. So I'm talking about multiple kinds of cases, guys. And that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm saying that, okay, you worked on the profile so well, research paper, application, essays. If you read her essay, you'll be zapped. Very flowery. Every word has multiple meanings and very directed. The alignment is perfect. The people who wrote letter of recommendations, we worked with them absolutely in details, and she made it. That's the kind of people make it. So people have various questions saying that I can't do it, I am not able to do it. So that's what I am absolutely okay to answer questions, guys. I would be happy to. Somebody's mentioning this question. I would do that. Raghav, I would definitely answer your question. Vishal, I answered your question. MBA, this is the time. This is the time. In fact, Stanford recently has started offering STEM qualification for example. It's just announced. which means that you would get a 3-year work visa after graduating from Stanford. Within those 3 years, you would actually make a lot of money. $2.5 lakh you would earn per year. Within 3 years, you would earn $7.5 lakh. 50% bhi kharch kar diya, so you are making a lot of money, and you are at the top bracket of the companies. Look at Indian companies; they hire Indians who have studied from top universities in the world. Look at INSEAD. Consulting, all guys are from INSEAD. Look at Wharton. Look at Stanford. Look at Harvard. That's the way it is, right? I'll come back to that. Okay. Garvit, VIT Vellore, right? He has been, he joined me in the first year of his engineering, right? From day one, I've been mentoring him, and the goal was very clear that we want to get into the Ivy League. So, which means first year, say, huh? So we prepared at GRE, and GRE score is not very high, 318, but still we have been able to make it. We have been able to make it. Okay, so that's how it is. So we worked on the profile. We did so many projects, research papers, that he got into CMU, Carnegie Mellon, he got into Columbia. These are top universities in the world, and people dream about it. And he's again approached HDFC Credila and getting his loan disbursed from HDFC Credila. So that's the kind of background. Shahid Sukhdev, this guy, he's got into Cornell, he's got into Yale, he's got into Imperial College London, everywhere he's got it. And he's got the loan disbursed bhi ho raha hai. He's got 43 lakhs, I think, loan from HDFC one branch. GMAT score 730, profile was important. Profile, second attempt mein GMAT 30 aaya, 730 aaya. NSIT Duke 328 has got into Duke. Some examples I am talking about. I'm only talking about references. Now let me take up these questions. This gentleman, Raghav, you are talking about BBA in information technology. I am assuming that you have maths. You have maths today. Okay. You have maths in your 12th. And if you are now completing your 12th, immediately after that, if you are wanting, तो आप थोड़ा लेट हो, अभी भी कुछ ऑप्शंस यूएस में अवेलेबल हैं. बीबीए आईटी करना है आपको तो यूएस कनाडा दोनों बहुत अच्छे ऑप्शंस हैं. लंदन में आई डोंट नो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कॉलेजेस कैन यू मेक इट, बट अभी यूएस के कुछ कॉलेजेस अवेलेबल है. इस साल आपने ग्रेजुएट कर लिया है तो गेट इन टच विद मी. आई कैन कनेक्ट यू विद सम यूनिवर्सिटीज इन द यूएस, प्रॉब्ली कैलिफोर्निया स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ इलिनॉय. अभी कुछ ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. 15 मई लास्ट डेट है. यदि आप अभी 11th में, तो आपके बहुत सारी ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. आपको एसएटी देना चाहिए, आपको उसकी तैयारी करनी चाहिए, प्रोफाइल बिल्डअप करना चाहिए. गेट इन टच विद मी, आई विल बी एबल टू गेट यू देयर. बट कहां जाना चाहिए? लंदन में अवॉइड करना चाहूंगा. लंदन में, यूके में द प्रॉब्लम इज एज सुन एज यू कंप्लीट योर कोर्स दे आस्क यू टू लीव. दे डोंट गिव यू एन ओपीटी और अ सीपीटी. ऑप्शनल प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग नहीं देते, तो आपको फटाफट निकाल दिया जाता है. इफ यू वांट टू रियली मेक योर करियर, गो टू कनाडा, गो टू यूएस, गो टू आयरलैंड. दीस आर सम ऑफ द प्लेसेस यू कैन. साई पूछ रहे हैं आप किस कंट्री की बात कर रहे हैं. साई, आप किसी भी कंट्री के बारे में पूछ सकते हैं. आई एम इनडिफरेंट टू कंट्री. माय ऑब्जेक्टिव इज whichever is the best place in the world. I am a global citizen. Whichever offers me the best option, I'll come and go. Right? This is what I would do. Right? So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. जो ओवी आप पूछ रहे हैं कि जो इस साल जाना चाहते हैं स्प्रिंग ऑफ 2020 में, उनका क्या हुआ? विंटर, which is fall 2020 or spring 2020. Spring 2020 students had joined by the time this happened. So they were asked to go back to their respective places. They are completing their courses online. And by the time it opens up, they are going to go back. But it looks like as of now, some universities have cancelled their semester, which is a fall semester, which is September to December. Some have allowed you, permitted you to do those courses online. So you can join them in the spring of 2021, which is you can join them by physically. और इस साल जिन बच्चों का एडमिशन हुआ था, they have been given an option either to defer their course by 1 year or by 1 semester, or they can do one course online here, which means they save money, and second semester when they can join in spring, which is not an issue. So absolutely there is no problem. We don't see any dropout of people wanting to go abroad. Not at all. So there is no problem, guys. There is no problem at all. So I am open for questions, guys. You can ask me, and I am continuing to answer your queries. So this girl, another example. She is a final year student from Kirodi Mal College, Delhi. Everybody tells me the biggest myth is that you can't get into US or top universities or top management colleges abroad without prior experience. She got it. She's been selected at INSEAD, London Business School, Imperial, मतलब उसके साथ तो वो डिस्कशन होता है कि कहाँ जाएं, यहाँ जाए, वहां जाए, वहां जाए। फाइनली शी इज जीरोड इन एट एनसीआर में भी पैसे दे दिए, लंदन बिजनेस स्कूल में भी पैसे दिए। तो कैन यू मेक इट? शी इज ग्रेजुएटिंग इन 2020 and he started preparing for her in 2018. That's the time you need, right, guys? Guys, wonderful. So let me show some examples. Anyways, I talked about this guy. Okay, let me talk about this guy. Mayo Ajmer, we were talking about economics. With only a SAT score of 1350, he is going to National University of Singapore with 25% scholarship. Profile. This is where we work with you. This is where we work with you. Similarly, 1310, she's going to, you were asking Raghav about Europe. I would say avoid UK, go to the other parts of Europe. This girl is going to University of Amsterdam with 1310 economics. India में मिलता है admission, सवाल ही नहीं होता. But she's going to the best colleges in the world. Right? Planning profile is important. So guys, this is what it is. I am open for questions. How can we help you? I am as an expert. I run my own company by the name of alokbansal.com. You can reach me out. We help you prepare for GMAT, GRE, SAT, ACT. I'm not a coaching institute. I don't train people, but I would do a diagnostic test with you. I would do a counseling with you, understand who you are, what kind of goals should you pursue. This is that I'll provide that mentorship. Where should you go and prepare? Do you require a full-time coaching? Do you require a part-time coaching? Do you require only maths? I'll judge you and get back to you. In fact, every day I do personal counseling of students on Zoom. I normally charge to 3,000 rupees. But in case after this you want to book a slot with me, I'll share. You have my email ID. You can come back to me within 24 hours and book a slot for personal counseling for 2,000 rupees, where I'll discuss with you individually on what can you do. But this is what it is. So you can do that. Profile building is important. Brainstorming, personalized guidance is important on how to go about this, and very critical, very critical. People ignore it. People say, oh, GR is important. People say, oh, GMAT is important. People say SAT is important. How do you present it? I mean, if you are 99 percentile, you know that out of the world, 1% of the students are going to be above you. So their profile, their score is better than you. So why should the university select you? Why are the averages low? In fact, this year I have a student at 1440 SAT who got a selection call from Harvard University for his undergraduate. Profile is important, guys. Right? So everything as a wholesome picture is important. Please ask questions. I would be able to answer your questions. So your application is incomplete. So it is important to understand which major, which university. Raghav was asking me, Obi was asking me, the gentleman is asking me, everybody, Mr. Dasgupta is asking me. So it is important to understand which major, which university. Mr. Tawar has just joined in. So which essays? I'm talking about personalized brainstorming. So essays are important. Essays are important. Content is important. People say, what is the difference between statement of purpose? People ask me, what is the difference between a prompt or essay? SOP is three things. Where do you come from? Where are you today? Where is that you want to go? Why are you wanting to make a career as say an MBA? Why are you looking at an MBA? What is the career you are wanting to make for yourself? And why MBA becomes an important tool? Where do you come from? Where are you today? Where is that you want to go? But the prompts could be different. The other essays could be different. Tell me the most significant achievement of your life. Tell me the place, tell me one event where you failed and you learned something out of that. Tell me the details about the projects you made in an industry. Share an experience with you which changed the perspective of you in your life. Or an essay like why this university, why this course. So everything is very different. The alignments are different. As an expert in this, me and Dr. Monica Bansal, we spend roughly 7 hours on one essay. Once it is in the final stage, okay, which means final submission se pehle, obviously deadline se bahut pehle, we would spend 7 hours in refining a final essay because every word is important. We would do plagiarism check, we would do sentiment analysis, we would understand what is the tone, what is the logic, is it that alignment, everything with the course we are wanting to choose. Otherwise, why would I get a selection like 100% in Ivy institutions? I get students every year in top colleges, and I can show that score or that result with you. Supplementary material important. What projects did you do? इनफैक्ट कोविड-19 में मिस्टर दासगुप्ता, अभी जो बच्चे बैठ के घर पे बैठे हैं, या मैं राघव से भी बात कर रहा हूँ या ओवीजी से बात कर रहा हूँ, when people are sitting at home, where all our students are extremely busy, because we are given them there's an opportunity. Can I encash that opportunity and work on that? Is what we are telling everybody to do. So we identify कि आपको ये करना है, ये प्रोजेक्ट आपके काम आएगा, ये इंटर्नशिप कीजिए, ये आप LOR के लिए काम कीजिए. Everything around that, the entire ecosystem is important. So that's very critical. So guys, there are amazing opportunities. I don't want to take too much time. If you have any questions, you can ask me. This is my profile. But the entire objective was demystifying UG and PG abroad first and foremost. After COVID-19, the opportunities would enhance. It's the right time to get into an education ecosystem, because by the time you get out of these colleges, you would have been in great demand in the marketplace. You would know exactly this kind of adversity. Don't, even if you are working, leave your job, get into getting upskilled, get into some coaching environment or whatever. In the sense that join a university or a college or a desired course, do some part-time courses. You can do on Coursera.org and do some courses there. Third, plan ahead. Money is not a problem. Even if you have to take a loan today, and I tell everybody, please take a loan. HDFC Credila has been helping people. Their bouquet size is increasing, and they are amazing help. All my students take a loan from HDFC Credila, and I tell them to go and meet up these people. Very facilitative. Loan is not a problem. Some people also come back and should I take loan from abroad? There are problems. There are problems about that. So it is better to take a loan here and maybe submit the office there. So that's how it is. Third, is it the right time? I answered that. What does it take to get into which countries? Look at any country. There are perspectives. I'm slightly wary of Australia and New Zealand, because I believe that these countries, if you go to these countries, when you come back, in India, people don't recognize the business schools and universities of those countries. So it is slightly riskier. But US tops the chart. Canada is an amazing place. Russia is increasing. So is some places in Europe. I'm talking about Netherlands. I'm talking about France. I'm talking about even Singapore. Closer home, all these places, there are amazing options. I am very fond of Ireland, Norway. These are amazing places. The economy is doing pretty well. You have all kind of big companies setting up their bases there. Opportunities would galore. Secondly, can I come back to India and work here? If you have studied in the best universities in the world, people love you. People look up to you, and they call you to head Indian companies. Look at any company. Look at Google in India. Look at Microsoft in India. All their heads would be people, Indians, who have studied in the top universities abroad. So there are too many options, guys. Please do not worry, do not bother. Work on time and start working on time. That's how it is. Any questions anybody has, I am happy to answer. I am sure I have answered your questions. You have any more further questions, come back and talk to me. alokbansal.com is my website. You can reach me on my WhatsApp also. You can fix up a one-to-one session with me on Zoom, and obviously that's chargeable. I normally charge 3,000. I do that for 2,000 if you book it up by tomorrow 3 o'clock. And I'm open for questions. Anybody has a question, I'm open for answering those questions. I can go on. I have large portion of slides still pending, but I think good. You can ask me questions. Anybody has a question? Okay. Abdus had asked me, what are the chances of scholarships for PG programs in the US? What percentage? What is the state of? Okay. Please understand chances of scholarships. There are multiple kinds of scholarships. One is called a need blind scholarship, which means that the university is indifferent to your requirements. Second is need based. One is need blind, other is need based. I look at your application, I find you good, but I would also look at your need. In case you are insisting on scholarship and I have funds, I'll give it to you. Okay. PhD is 100% funded. All master's programs in the US, including MBA at Harvard and Stanford, funds are available, money is available. Last year, one of my students went to Johns Hopkins to pursue a master's in finance with 100% scholarship. Money is not a problem. Scholarships are available. You'll have to plan what percentage. from 0 to 100% is available. You have to plan. Your application would showcase your requirement. That's where we come in as experts and we guide students, and that's why people make it. I showcased an example of this girl, wherein she got 25% scholarship at Harvard, and I showcased an example of a guy at NYU with 25% scholarship. So that's the kind of scholarships which are. Masters, Sai is asking me, masters in Germany. You can go to do masters in Germany, provided Sai you are wanting to settle there. If you're not wanting to settle there, you go to Auckland as a place, it is English speaking. But when you come back and try to work in any other country, people question you differently. So if you are planning to settle in Europe or in Germany, by all means go and do that. Any advice for applications for masters in Germany? Projects, up those research projects. Content of application is important. Logic is important. Relevance is important. Okay. I mean, I had sent some students last year to RA Open for an internship. Okay. Because they wanted to study in Germany. So they got that exposure and they could showcase their interest in pursuing that. So that's important. OV is asking, are scholarships available to cover living costs? There is something called research assistantship. Okay, teaching assistantship, and there are part-time work which is available. You are eligible to work 20 hours per week at any of these universities of any of these locations. Most often than not, most of the people make money instead of, and they cover up their living cost comfortably. If you're going for a master's, okay, some colleges bar you from working part-time, but most of them allow you to do that. So that's not an issue. So you're looking for masters, I can't consider that. Yes, any more questions, guys? Somebody's asking, I applied for RA Auckland, which is good for masters. Okay, German universities. Some of them are free. Okay, but if you go to private universities like University of Applied Sciences, they have some fees, which would be around 6 to 7 lakhs per year. But there are scholarships which are available. I have a window of a month to submit my application to an MBA college. I have the first jobs ready. If I reach out to you, will you? Yes, I'll be able to do that. Yes. Oh, absolutely. 1st June is doable, quite doable. Vishal, bilkul doable hai. You can reach out to me comfortably. That's not an issue. Reach out to me. Vishal, I read that. I'll be able to do that. Raghav, अभी एजुकेशन हो रहा है. Please tell in Canada or Ireland. कनाडा आयरलैंड दोनों बहुत अच्छी जगह है. कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी जा रहे हैं वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. आपका क्या बैकग्राउंड है, यू कैन राइट टू मी, आई विल बी एबल टू हेल्प यू आउट. राइट. ओके. I applied for, okay. Sai said that, okay, he applied to Auckland. That's a beautiful place. By the end of the video, tell me about Germany by the end of the video. Germany is beautiful, good place. Depends किस course में आप जा रहे हैं. If you are going for pure engineering, mechanical, automotive, that's a great place to go. Some areas are doing pretty well in artificial intelligence, machine learning. Biomedical research, yes, they are doing pretty well. But if you are looking at civil engineering, if you are looking at some other areas, then I would say it's not a great place. If you're going for psychology, I would say no, don't go, don't go. So it depends. It depends. Which courses are you going to? Which countries are you going to detail out? Yes. Okay. Yes, Sai. Good. Vishal, I can do that. Absolutely, guys. Oh, I am happy. I think I've been able to answer your questions. Good, wonderful. Shraddha is watching us very carefully from HDFC Credila. She has been a big help and trying to organize this seminar, guys. Good. Any question which is unanswered, you can ask me and then let's wrap it up, guys. Good. I think it has been a pleasure talking to you, friends. I think I have been able to add some value to you. Please do not delay and do not be in double mind whether you should go abroad. Money is not a problem with companies like HDFC Credila offering you very liberal loans with liberal terms. It is a great idea. Look at the return on investment. If you stay one more year in India, probably you will earn 5 lakhs to 15 lakhs. If you join now and taking a loan, by the time you graduate after 2 years, if you're going for masters, you would come out with a salary of 1 crore. So you're actually losing out roughly 90-95 lakhs per year. Even with a loan, it is worth it. It is worth it. Okay. All my students go with taking loan. My son is studying abroad after taking a loan and from HDFC Credila. So I think this is an amazing option, guys. All the best. Do well. Get in touch. Be in touch. Keep watching such seminars, and they would help you. And thank you, HDFC Credila. Thank you, Shraddha, for organizing this. Thank you very much. Thank you.